Greetings and welcome to this week's episode of Vampire the Masquerade Beyond Armageddon. Before we begin, I'd like to make a few announcements. First, we are proud to announce that Sabbat the Schism is officially out now. Not only does it delve into the history and lore of the sect, it opens up multiple role-playing options for fans of the game, including new playable clans, elder level powers, and much more. You can find your own copy of Sabbat the Schism in the link below. Second, I'd like to thank RS Experiments, our local musical talent, for graciously providing the custom music you've been enjoying so far, including our awesome main theme song called Haven Dweller. If you enjoy any of the music used during the stream, and you'd like to hear more, you can find a full library of Mark's work by clicking the link below to RS Experiments' SoundCloud page. Lastly, if you enjoyed tonight's session and you'd like to see more, be sure to follow both our channels. You can catch us live most Sundays at 7 p.m. CET by tuning in to youtube.com/@EriseGames or at twitch.tv/EriseGames. Alternatively, you can enjoy all our recorded sessions on YouTube. Links below. Remember to like, subscribe, and be sure to leave us feedback and suggestions in the comments below. We hope you enjoy the session. And without further ado, let us delve into the world of darkness in tonight's episode of Vampire the Masquerade Beyond Armageddon. The sun sets over LA. As the city goes to sleep and nightlife begins, two Cainites rouse from their sleep within the haven. Serena opens her eyes to see the polished white ceiling plagued with small bits of vivid red moss left over by Cecil, and looks around the room to see formerly Cecil, now Olivia, examining their hand.
I assume no good news as usual?
On the contrary, actually.
Really? How so?
Olivia turns, showing you the hand, and the previously blackened flesh seems to be not fully healed, but more healed than before.
That's strange. Has anything happened?
Not to my knowledge, but I'm sure I'll be informed if something does change.
Mm. So, could the hand situation have been not connected to the tower?
I'm not sure. Go fetch Jack. Maybe he has some answers.
I could draw a card.
I wouldn't mind.
All right, I'll go fetch Jack. Um, and Serena exits the room and heads out to see if Jack's awake.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Jack, you,
Mhm.
as you rouse yourself from sleep and look to your makeshift alchemy table, you notice that your samples are all still there. Only the vacuum sealed sample that you left on one side of the table seems to have moved enough to fall on the floor. And just as you notice this, the observation is interrupted by knocking at the door.
Come in.
Jack, um,
Yes.
um, Olivia wishes to speak to you. Perhaps you'll have some insight. I mean, I'll be providing insight with my usual glance into the patterns of the world, but perhaps you'd have some
Okay.
mystical insight. And
Okay.
as they
Sure.
walk back to the room, Serena's like, it seems that the rotting of the flesh that affected one of his hands has starting to become better
We
on its
didn't do
own.
much.
No, Olivia thought that it was connected to
Hmm.
the tower,
The
but
tower as in the tower they make, or the tower
yes,
as in.
yes.
Hmm.
But perhaps it's not after all. Either
We'll see.
way, he's interested in your insight. Mm.
Sure.
And I'm going to draw a few cards.
Mm-hmm. Roll for it, please.
Mm-hmm.
In the meantime, Jack, as you wait for Serena as she shuffles the cards.
I mean, I do it once we go back into like our
Oh,
room
okay.
with.
Okay. Well, as you head downstairs, you hear the rooftop access door jiggle at first and then open. And as you do, heavy footsteps announce exactly who made his way there.
Interesting. He showed up too. I'll. Yeah. Well, we're probably like already in Serena's room, right?
Well, we went to where Olivia was.
Yeah. So
Was
that was either
she?
the living room or your room.
Yeah. Well, Miguel said we went to the living room, so.
Miguel, you're mute.
Yeah, Olivia seems to have moved to the living room. And as the footsteps from the rooftop are heard, Olivia looks to the both of you coming down the stairs and asks, "Someone we know?"
Larry?
I guess Larry.
Make sure, we haven't seen him in a while.
Mm.
You and me.
Well, Serena's already like shuffling cards in front of the table.
Okay. I'm gonna go back to the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Like to the second floor.
Yeah. As you go up the stairs and you turn the corner to the roof access door, you see Larry sort of scooching over and getting his wings in the building.
Oh, hello, Jack.
Hello.
Why are you so grim?
It is kind of what I look like. Look, I'm gonna be completely honest. We haven't seen you in like, what, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? So, riddle me that. When Larry brought his bird to our haven, what did I ask him?
Why are you talking about me in the third person?
Because you might be not Larry.
Oh,
So,
per.
but if you prefer, what did I
don't
ask
know.
you?
You told some shit about the bird being not appropriate to this place. I told you to shut the fuck up. Mm. Don't remember much about it.
Does it look like he lies?
No signs of
Or he
life.
just doesn't remember? I asked you, why was the bird one of your higher priorities? But
Oh.
regardless, you seem to be you. Took you a while though.
Nice to meet you too.
Mm-hmm. So it took you a while. You
Well,
wanna share?
Later, perhaps. Where
Okay.
are everybody?
Olivia and Serena are downstairs. Abel is Abel, and Jasper is in Europe.
What the fuck is it doing over there
Studying the past,
in Europe?
apparently.
Well, wish him luck, I guess. Okay.
Knowing who the teacher is, he doesn't need luck. I'll go
Till we go.
downstairs I'll go down in a second. I need to grab some samples. And I'll
Okay.
grab the PD mix infusion that I made and Olivia's blood infusion that I made.
Mm-hmm. As you descend down the stairs, you see that Serena finishes shuffling the cards. And as she does, you see her draw the first card. The card seems to show the image of an angel and two chalices with flowing liquid between them. Seem to have drawn temperance upright. If you don't say anything, I can give you the second result.
Yes.
Okay. As you draw the second card, you are met with the image of someone, a woman, in very, very expensive looking clothing with plenty of accessories. You seem to have drawn the Empress. Upright.
Empress. Okay. So, I'm gonna draw a third card for clarification on the Empress.
Mm-hmm.
As in, more like another clarifying card. So it's like the same question, but like something to give
Okay.
more.
You draw another card, and you are met by the image of an incredibly tall tree from which hangs a rope, and at the end of the rope, a man. For a second, you swear you see the man might only have one eye, but seems to just have been your imagination. And you have drawn the hanged man upright.
And um mm, and that's all very vague. So Serena's gonna do Eyes of Chaos on these three.
Alright, you may roll for it. As you sit down and focus, Olivia looks to the others who have just joined with a bit of concern and says, "Well, that can't be good."
What exactly can be good?
Usually, after drawing the cards, she begins prattling on about the results.
Yeah,
She's meditating. Okay.
What?
I
One success.
understand not much more about Malkavians than you do.
Something to correct in the future, I'm sure. And
Indeed.
Serena, as you focus and allow your mind to drift, you find yourself not falling as usual, but this time you almost instinctively allow your hand to fall to your side. And as you do, instead of the wooden floor you expected, you feel the light touch of grass. You open your eyes, and around you, you see a field of dead lambs. Bats seem to feed on the lambs. A plague of them, in fact. And while most of the bats are black, a few of them are pale, albino. As you examine the bats, you notice one of them seems to writhe in pain, at which point it begins biting its own wing off. As the wing falls to the floor, the bat continues to feed as if nothing ever happened. Yet the wing begins to form into a new bat. And almost out of instinct, you begin to approach the bat, trying to examine it closer. And as you look into its eyes, it's not the same as the other bat. It looks different somehow. There are patches on its fur. Some are brown, some are black. But the most striking thing is the bat's eyes. Its eyes are pitch black and bleed this acidic blood that almost dissolves the skin as it flows down the creature's face. And as you see this, you sort of jolt awake in the middle of the living room.
Okay. So, mm, I mean, my first question was whether this new trend, is now like consistent. So now everything's like the hand is gonna become better. Hmm. I guess patience, like everything in temperance. So it's not a no, but I suppose patience, and it will. But the second thing I've asked was like, what development caused this change in progression? And when I drew this card, Empress, it's a bit like it confused me because it's a card denoting motherhood, fertility, like nature, this sort of like Aphrodite, Freya, as a creator goddess, that. So I asked the clarification. And I got the Hanged Man, but more of like in the term of Odin's, like the Hanged Man represents Odin, who sacrificed an eye of his and hung for years, crucified on the tree of on Yggdrasil to gain secret knowledge. That too, in a sense, was vague until I've looked at it from through the eyes of chaos. And this is where Serena looks to Olivia and is like, given your special circumstances and your clan's special circumstances, I sort of say, like, maybe it had something to do with Jasper?
Are you certain?
Because, well, no, I'm not certain. It's something that you or the higher, your founder could know, but think about it. If vicissitude is also them, then wouldn't Jasper, as somebody with it and of your clan, given that he fell into the river Styx, if there's like a level of synchronization and, that through the flesh, wouldn't his special circumstances be potentially also reflecting on the eldest and thus also on you, since now you're so close? And perhaps even because you've consumed Voldery with him. Because in the vision there was a bat whose like wing it chewed off. And there was some form of transformation, but it had, like how the specters have those pitch black eyes? But it had that, and the tears from those eyes were pouring out and like corroding the face. The affliction that Jasper suffers with his flesh after that. Wouldn't basically him, like how in nature, and Serena looks to the Empress card, if a tree has a branch affected by some disease, it can spread to the rest. Him falling into Styx and then coming back out, that could also affect the eldest, and thus you.
I see. So what you're saying is Jasper's incident reverberated to me?
And perhaps
somehow?
now that he went, well, it will reverberated from the eldest to you, or maybe because of the Voldery, But either way, the hanged man is like Odin. He learned hidden like knowledge. He went through a quest to achieve it. And that was like the clarification I asked. So like the most logical thing, or like what development caused this change in progression, it was nature. It was a natural thing that happened, right? Because motherhood fertility doesn't really suit here, does it? But it also denotes a queen, a ruler of a line, like a dynasty and so on. But the hanged man, Jasper, who spent 70 years in the Shadowlands, fell into the Styx, lost something of that. He's very suited to that, and especially like it was because of the vision, because without that it was but the fact that he did go away, and this is something that happened now, as he was gone, while we didn't finish the tower, we didn't use it for what you thought, like there was nothing that you did or I did or anything else, like that is the only like relevant things like that cards could like imply. And with the vision, who knows?
Hey.
I mean, I suppose maybe the eldest would be more aware of that metaphysics. But just the same way that I was able to affect the entire clan when I sent a message to them, just the same way that half of us at some point lost dementation, changes like that, they go down through that web we share, the hive mind, so to say. But ours is mental. But here, vicissitude, it's a physical one, so the principle of as above, so below, I'm sure, matters.
I'll need to think about this. It's a theory, but I'm not entirely sure how that would work. Perhaps some research is needed.
I mean,
And
I will I will personally admit that
one moment.
this is a reach. I will personally admit this is a reach,
Serena,
even for my
one
usual
moment.
divinations. Yeah.
So as you speak, you hear the front door open, and Leo walks in with something bundled up in what looks like some very dusted cloth held together with ropes. And he walks up to Jack and hands it to him. Proceed.
Anything specific from the sender? Name, for example?
As Leo begins to answer, he stops, pauses, and seems to look confused for a moment. I am not sure who the sender was. I know I got it. I must have gotten it while I was in Europe. I did get on the plane with it.
Okay. Very well. On your way then.
Of course. Leo begins to walk away.
And that it was like usually my divinations have a bit more precise questions. Motives. Is this like positive, negative, like what effect, consequences, scaries, or like something like that, right? whether allied with Talmahara. So even though it's yes or no questions, or like more or less in that vibe, it's a bit more specific. While this entire divination was rather broad. Because I'm literally asking, it's the same as me asking, what happened here?
I see.
While the cards reply cryptically. It can be interpreted in many ways, but it's because of the vision, because like of the bats and like the type of bats that they were, and like one type of bats was lost a limb, so to say, and then was a bit like as if affected by some disease or something. And that's why I thought Jasper, because, he's learning right now. He is on a quest for knowledge like Odin was.
But wouldn't that... And as Olivia speaks, there's a pause. And there's a shift in their expression. Almost like this jolt of unexpected pain. And then Olivia turns to the room, like your bedroom, and says, What the hell?
What
Iris
happened?
instantly, like, because paranoia and past bad experiences, she just rushes to the room.
Mm-hmm.
Ready to fight.
Serena, you open the door, and you sleep in this room, you wake up every night in this room. You know damn well what this room looks like. And while it does have this almost omnipresent plague of vivid red moss growing all over the place, you definitely remember that the ceiling didn't have a growth this big.
Serena
It's...
calls out to...
Hold on.
Serena calls out to Olivia, "Honey, I think your moss is growing a tumor."
Olivia seems frozen in place. And this thing on the ceiling seems to grow quite alarmingly rapidly. It grows until it's almost bigger in volume than Cecil was before his change. So very, very big. And it seems to almost pulsate. It oozes this vivid red moss that falls to the ground and creates small puddles. And the whole time, Olivia seems to almost fall to one knee and even has to brace on the couch to maintain balance.
Does it look like the boss is giving birth?
Looks very weird. You're not quite
Iris
certain.
is definitely thinking like, I think the moss is giving birth. Honey, are you experiencing birth pains or something?
Olivia doesn't seem aware enough to answer.
I don't think they're gonna answer. The fuck is going on?
Well, it's moss, eldest moss, so I'm
So whatever.
pretty sure. Well, I'm pretty sure that whatever it is, it's but it definitely looks like a giant womb right now. fitting, like it's the size of somebody, like there can be a person inside of it. I think it is a person. It's gonna be a person.
So, who of you is gonna be a dad?
Well, probably it's Zimitsa.
As you speak, the sludge that seems to fall on the floor and has been falling this entire time eventually begins to shift in color. It darkens slightly, almost as if it's coagulated, becomes sort of a dark brown. And just as that happens, this growing lump of moss begins to burst, and this almost lump of flesh falls to the floor. And as it rises, it begins to stretch into this humanoid shape that you do not recognize. It looks horrific, and as you look to it, you see it open its eyes and stretch its limbs. It seems to have two long limbs where the arms would be, and two smaller ones that seem to stretch from its gut. The legs are misshapen, long, similar to yours in a way, Serena, but different at the same time. And three odd protrusions burst out of its back as it stretches, moving almost independent of each other.
By the way, I had a question.
Mm-hmm.
So, we share vinculum, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Iris is a psychic, and she has been sharing vinculum for a while. Does she feel a vinculum connection to this person?
Roll perception awareness.
Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
No.
Hmm. Serena looks to the person and is like, "Hello. How may we help you?"
Why, Serena? It is good to see you again.
Does Serena recognize the voice?
No, it's completely unrecognizable.
Um. Does 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 she have like some does the person have like any other like traits of the body, like like the stick's flesh or something that she recognizes?
Doesn't seem so.
Hmm.
Not immediately. You probably would have to open this person to check.
Well, she's going to check the aura then.
Sure. Roll for it.
Mm-hmm. Well, no.
Yeah, no. Sorry.
I'm sorry, but my senses certainly do not recognize you. And you are in our pack's haven, so...
Of course, I'm in my own haven. Why else would I come back?
Jasper?
In the flesh.
Oh, interesting. I couldn't feel a vinculum to you. Were you You must have been really altered.
Hmm. I did some changes, that is indeed true, though. Why the vernaculum isn't strong, that is another question that I ponder. But anyway, allow me to, well, go to my room and properly dress. Wouldn't want to stay in
Sorry,
this mess.
yes,
I
but
also ask for forgiveness by my messy entrance.
no, but I think you've literally just confirmed my reach at the divination.
Hmm.
Uh, Um, Either way, I do think that perhaps whatever process you underwent, I think it has mm, erased the vinculum.
Is that so?
Well, I couldn't perceive it in you. Can you still perceive the vinculum to me?
What role is it again?
Perception awareness,
Perception,
please.
awareness.
Does aspects count to it?
Um, I don't
No.
believe so, no.
The 2 successes.
You feel something, a faint echo of what used to be a vinculum. More as if it was not broken, but severely lessened during your absence.
Hmm. Not that it's broken, Serena. It's been lessened. Perhaps maybe from my time staying far away from all of you all.
Yeah.
But it
y-
is still there. Faint.
Oh. Okay, maybe whatever you underwent made it difficult for me to recognize it or perceive it. Either way, not something new. But Serena looks back to Olivia and looks like, uh, does she look better?
Olivia seems to be essentially sat on the couch, sort of curled up and shaking.
Mm, yeah, Serena's gonna go to her and be like, well, um, I'll leave you to refresh. But did your curse, by the way, from the sticks get alleviated or something?
Hmm. Not that I can sense it.
No, the rotting of the flesh.
It's still there. Perhaps because I added more muscle mass to my body, it's lessened a little bit, but I haven't lost it, I believe.
Well, it seems you did undergo a metamorphosis. We're here debating whether it was your blood's presence in the Voldery that affected uh, Olivia's hand.
Hmm. Perhaps not. We could do some testings to figure it out if you want.
Well,
He looks
did
to
you
Olivia.
did you give up something, by the way?
Hmm.
Like, because
What
I'm
do
pretty
you
sure you're the hanged man, Odin, who gave up an eye to gain knowledge on the Yggdrasil.
Hmm.
Well, actually, don't answer that. Did you successfully learn the path Are you now one of us?
Indeed. I have
Well then,
learned the tradition of our clan, Spec.
well then, I personally know what you have to give up. Not that it was a big loss in the first place.
Indeed, so.
I wasn't quite as attached to my humanity as you were.
mm, Now that I ponder on it, it just seemed like a child's wish to continue to stay the same instead of seeing what needed to be done.
Serena smiles very brightly at him. Exactly. It is. It is like the human and post-human. It is a folly to a post-human to pretend to be human when they're no longer, when they're not one.
Indeed.
But I did have
Is
the advantage of being
is
exposed to all these wonderful books on that.
is Olivia alright? She seems
Well, she
distant.
seemed. Mm, it seems the way you returned has caused some psychometric echoes. I mean, I guess you were born, formed
Mm,
in the womb of the vase. So,
Much more than that, but you're right. I was reborn in it.
well, that definitely gives standing to my idea of how you personally could affect others of your lineage because of your curse from the underworld, the swim in the river Styx.
Hmm. That is something perhaps I should look deeper into it. Hmm. So much to do now in so little time. How does
By
others
the
of
way,
our
I
clan?
never asked you. It slipped my mind. Did you bring a good hospitality gift?
I brought a hospitality gift, though unbeknownst to my ignorance at the time, it was a offensive gift.
Was it?
Yes.
What was it?
Some data on my experimentations on the human brain. He did not
Research
take,
results.
indeed, he did
Yes,
not
yes.
take it to liking. I did not know it was such an offense at the time.
Well, yes. Hmm. I see why it could have been that. It was, I think, one of the first lessons that that Cecil has taught me. Um, unknown to me. And apparently my gifts fit that principle very well. Um, but yeah, I guess I can see that, but you've learned from the experience. Yourself, you know.
Yes, I said that already.
Well, I'm glad to see that you're no longer plagued by your past guilt, conscience, and emotions.
Those, well, weren't unnecessary to even begin with. Now
Well,
there's
I was
only
surprised you even had those in
my
the first place.
inquiry for knowledge.
Good. I was surprised you even had them in the first place, given your research and experimentation.
Well, I never did go into human experimentation, mostly
Mm,
lab work with bacteria in my
mm,
early days.
Serena,
Though,
oh,
mm.
apologies, finish.
though, now that I am over such emotions, a lot of strives for science and our evolution can begin.
Well, that is. I wish you luck in your beginnings. Only saying as somebody who has been where you are right now.
Mm.
Do not neglect to learn about your beast by indulging it or um, restraining it, um, so that you do not fall victim to its baser deeds. Mm.
Serena,
Or yeah.
as you speak, you feel this quite tight grasp on your wrist,
Mm-hmm.
shaking as Olivia seems to still be in this curled up position, but
Mm-hmm.
you look to Olivia's face and you see
Mm-hmm.
from the splits on the skin bits of pitch black moss oozing and falling to the couch.
That doesn't seem good.
No, but it certainly does confirm that Jasper's condition has some effect on others.
Olivia manages to get one word out amidst the sheer agony they seem to be experiencing. You just hear sort of a blurted out blood.
I'm going to
I'll
go. I'm gonna go and get like um uh a mortal that Iris would have currently, like somebody who can be quickly embraced in her contraption
Mm-hmm.
and then given.
Okay.
I'll give the blood moon infused blood to Olivia because I brought it down.
Oh, okay. Which one?
Just pure Olivia's blood.
All right. And it's blood moon infused, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So good shit. Good shit.
So, you mark that off because you lost it. You just spent it.
Yeah.
Okay. And as
I
soon
doubt I was ever meant to consume it.
so as Olivia consumes the blood, you just see this quick burst of pitch black fluids almost burst out of the fissures on their skin. After which, Olivia seems to immediately snap out of this catatonic state.
And Serena probably
Do you
comes
feel
back with
better?
some of the fledglings she had for her and just puts food down for her.
Um, Olivia looks to the fledgling, then looks to you
Mm-hmm.
and says, "What's this?"
Food. You wanted blood.
No,
Serena looks to
I've
her.
been fed for the
You
longest time.
just
Who's that?
you
And Olivia immediately points to Jasper.
Jasper.
When did
It's
you get here?
Jasper. the moss grew a tumor, which then became a womb from which Jasper burst forth, and you had a seizure or some sort, and there was black moss inside your face.
I need to think. And Olivia
And when you
basically.
asked for blood, I gave you some of your infused with blood moon energies.
Uh-huh.
I made some last week.
Serena's gonna quietly take the fledgling away and like get him staked or
Chomp.
something.
Just imagine.
The forbidden
Serena kind of
chomp.
goes, "Oh, I'm glad to see you're okay." Yes, Serena walks
Sorry.
off with the fledgling to stake it, and Olivia simply stands up in a very confused demeanor and begins to walk towards the bedroom.
Were we in
this
the bedroom?
experiment was a success.
No, you're in
no,
the
we
living
were in the
room.
living room.
Well, if
That
you
was interesting.
wouldn't mind, Jasper says
Go
as
on,
he
go on.
starts walking towards his room, and the tendrils on his back seem to wrap around to form one apparently thick tail.
Yeah, Serena, after like doing what she needs to do, she goes back to Olivia. And she's like, well, Vikas did describe vicissitude as a sort of fungus, you know? And you
Yeah.
had this reaction when he came back. The improvement could have been connected to the distance, the process.
Maybe. It could also
But
be. There's something I need to ask. Give me a few
yes.
moments. I need to
Mm-hmm.
ask some questions.
Yes. Serena like squeezes Olivia's hand and just goes out of the bedroom and closes the door quietly behind her.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really interesting result. I'll tell you
Well, remember when I shared the info and the Malkavian network went quiet because of
that. Oh no, I
some,
heard that part. I was talking about the blood moon infused blood.
Oh, I mean, it is blood moon, so perhaps it made the Vitae more powerful, more filling.
That
I don't
wouldn't
know.
be enough in itself to make a fucking neonate be satiated.
Yes, but it was Olivia's blood.
Also,
True.
Jasper would come back, walking towards Jack, and he says, "You have something that belongs to me."
You can go and take her blood.
No, not the blood, the package.
To you.
Yeah, those are my belongings. I had to bring them back somehow.
Did only Jasper
Hurtful.
appear without any clothes or belongings?
Well, yes.
Well, what
So
it
he
what you
was-
can achieve with the blood.
Yeah, it's basically he was born. He was born. I mean,
So,
it
Can't
certainly
say
puts
I
the-
like that process back in the day.
Iris looks to Jack. It certainly puts the Empress into a new context, right?
Mm-hmm.
well, despite your imagination, it is not painful.
No, it's not imagination. I'm pretty sure I remember that.
Well, no, it wasn't painful for you, just like it's, I guess, not really that painful for kids to be bored, but really painful for.
Well, the moment you experience the open world first time, that was shit.
I mean, do you even remember?
Anywho, Jasper holds out his hands, waiting to Jack to pass the package.
Sure.
He grabs the package, and one of his tendrils from his back comes out and cuts open the package for him. And he proceeds to open as he walks back into his room.
As he leaves, Serena just like does telepathy to Jack.
Mm.
And she's like, do you think he knows about the eldest now?
Yes.
But how do we know? We don't know.
If he's gonna tell, he's gonna tell. Otherwise, Olivia will tell us, I guess. While you're here, I didn't really wanted to taste the samples, given that 80% of them are not mine blood. I decided to do what every enjoyer of the wine does, and I'll replay the memories of what the smells were, like the associations
All right.
from the samples. And
And you
Amalia,
sent me that.
I sent you
Yes.
that in
Yes, I did.
DMs. Yeah.
Interesting reaction about mine, because maybe it actually would do the thing that I expected to do, which is grant Cage of Secrets protection to others. Well, because, you know, cramped army truck full of people, and it uses fermentation and the cobweb to slap back.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting about Abel. I guess he can
more
basically do whatever he wants to do with his imagination.
Well, he probably can make it more physical. I'm more
Yeah,
curious
dreams.
about mine because I never really went into the ocean by Santa Monica Pier.
Well, we did feel that thing in the
Yes.
what? Well,
Am I
and
a hive
Iris
mind too now?
Iris cracks a smile. Welcome to the company, and extends you a fucking hand to shake. Welcome to the company.
Am I a hive mind too now?
I don't know. That's something you should ask your own guy.
If he would
I
talk.
mean, didn't you send a message to all of your clan through the thing?
Yeah.
Didn't I send a message to all of my clan through the thing?
Yeah.
Isn't it technically possible with the fish thing too? So congrats.
Yes. Thanks.
Hopefully your exposure to mortal sci-fi and fantasy makes you more open-minded to this experience.
I don't really mind. It's just it feels weird.
I mean, it's what I told Olivia a while ago. How much of you is you?
Yeah.
Like, how much of yourself is yourself, but not the product of your society or your family, or like so on? And if we go back from that, how much is that like a product of like past choices by other people? And if we go like way back to determinism on a global scale, and how much of that is determined like there's scientific notions that whatever's the reaction in the chemistry of your brain, what's driving you and so on, that has all been in a sense set to be when the Big Bang happened. So we can do this determinism as far as we want.
Well, to the point of physical birth of the universe.
Yes, so technically, what I find most useful is that you don't deny it, you don't fight it if it's not hindering you. You
You just learn from it.
you learn from it.
As you are all talking, Jasper comes out a little bit annoyed from the looks, and he walks towards you, Serena. Serena, I might have a problem that perhaps you could help me with. The clothings that I had in the room are a little bit, well, not fitting for myself right now. Where did you get your clothings made exactly?
Mine?
Yes.
They're just ordered. It's a specific style. They're like rather loose.
But you can order pretty much everything online.
Yeah, well, you can order pretty much anything online.
Well, I might not want you to do that since I would need very specific clothing type perhaps now.
What is
It
it that
might
you want?
draw on some attention.
Serena looks to his clothing, like body shape. Does she think that, like, like this loose, like, sort of like the cape you have, Miguel, the rope? Does she feel like that type of clothing would fit Jasper's form well?
It definitely could, if he stops moving those three tails he's got, because so far, the entire time you've seen them, they sort of just seem to move almost on their own. Sometimes scraping on the floors, sometimes just waving about.
Can you control your tails?
I can. And he will make his tails wrap around himself to the point that it's almost into his own body.
Well, I mean, I suppose, like the loose, wavy rope type of clothing Olivia wears? Like, probably
Yes.
something like that would suit you fine. It would obscure most of the things and it would be loose enough. You're in luck. That shit's popular with immortals, so you'd obviously need bigger size than what I gave Olivia, because that's from before I became. But I'm sure in LA there's like even shops for that, and I'm sure Serena looks to Jack. Your ghoul, like, she seems young and trendy. She'd probably know where to get.
Yeah, I guess. Not like money is gonna be a problem anyway.
Yeah, basically tell her to look for like ropes and pants loose and stuff in the desert nomad slash ninja slash rave, like what people wear to that type of style.
Space
She'll know what.
is non-descriptive. I get it.
No. Those specific terms will be. They define the style very well.
Okay, I'll just message her like straight up what Serena told me.
Oh, and Serena actually
Please.
will send you a couple visuals with that.
Well,
Because the style doesn't really have a name.
the response is pretty immediate. She responds with two emojis. An emoji of a thumbs up and an emoji of fire.
And Serena will also tell her the size and how big is Jasper now?
He's almost 2 meters tall.
Well, actually, quick correction. He's basically taller than Cecil was. So, real
Serena
fucking big, yes.
So Serena will say, like, make sure to say that it should be like largest size.
We're in the US. It goes wide-wise, not height-wise.
No, those brands usually make for Europe,
Yeah,
so they go
true.
height-wise too. Either
Yeah, like
way,
I'll drop like about the height we need. Like
either way, I
I don't feel
think
like precisely measuring it right now.
The
either
response
way, I think
is a hand like this and
either
the
way,
emoji of a face falling asleep.
either way, the main problem with Jasper, you walking outside, is gonna be your feet.
What about them?
He doesn't look human face-wise, and it's one of the first things people look at.
Hmm.
Yeah, but the hood and the mask and scarves, like,
True,
can,
true.
like, be used. Like, think of
So
Sosima. No, the feet is the problem. I wear heels for my feet for a reason. That's the only shoe I can fit, and
mm,
I get basically drag queen size heels.
Perhaps we
we'll
might
figure
need
it
it.
out. Do we really need to go out somewhere tonight, or it can wait for tomorrow?
Well, I did have something I thought that I need to speak to you, Jack, but we can do it later.
You put your feet
Just
flat on the ground, or no?
I
Just
am standing normal right now.
no, like Serena.
Like a
Miguel just said that
human
you have
does.
similar feet, right? Like that your feet are sort of like similar vibed. She is basically standing on her, on
Tippy
like as
toes.
if like she heels are up, right?
Yep, that is exactly the same with Jasper, but his is much more bigger. I'd
Mm-hmm.
still point to be that of, like, for example, a bear, but probably bigger than,
So we need
ordinary.
size 54
No,
European
I
high
think I have
heels.
a better solution for Jasper. Jasper, I'm sure you can engineer some shoes from flesh and uh, like stuff
To make it look like
that
a normal
no
guy.
that look actually like shoes, like some like basic shoes and whatever,
Whatever you do.
and use color for leather to paint them different,
Do
and
we
then
have
you
a
can
spare
later.
human?
Hmm?
Do we have a spare human?
I probably have
She has a
one
spare
remaining.
fledgling.
No, I have a spare human. I usually keep a couple around.
That will do. I'll get to work on it. May I have access to it, Serena?
It's in the closet.
And Jasper would slowly walk his way into the front of the closet. This one in particular? Is she asleep? Is she awake? Do I
What?
need to silence her? The human.
She's sedated.
Makes it easier. He opens up, grabs her by the back of the neck, and proceeds to drag her into his room.
Serena looks to her phone and is like, huh?
I guess it's a side effect of being reborn.
Well, what is side effect?
He's mumbling way more than he used to be.
He did talk to himself quite a lot before.
Mm.
But before it was mostly self pity, self guilt, or um,
That's true.
more along that line. Now it's just unburdened by the humanity.
The burdens of humanity.
Well,
Doesn't sound nice.
huh? I'm... Okay. Serena's like looking at her phone.
By the way, did you inform Victoria about little changes
About...
about what Tower does now with technology?
Oh, yes, I did. I took the opportunity when I was introducing Olivia to inform her that actually I still haven't heard back from Vicus on whether it's like a global ban. So I'm gonna like quickly text Vicus.
Next to Mike, it sounds like a fucking app you have on your phone.
Yeah, I'm gonna... The sad one with the suit. So, Jack, remember the guy whom I was helping out for like to be able to learn the biomagic? Like the friend, the witch asked me to help.
Yeah.
So he apparently wants to talk to the sad one with the suit, aka you.
Fuck. Okay, sure. Wanna come over?
You want
Or he
backup?
requested specifically to talk to me.
Well, he said he and
Sad fucking one.
he said he and I should have a word. The sad one with the suit. Same spot as when I used it. When I went to meet him.
I don't even know the fucking spot.
Well, I can always give you the directions. Let me go check with Olivia.
Sure.
And
Said one with
Serena.
a fucking suit.
Yes. Does he know you? Serena laughs.
I'm not really sad, so probably not.
Fair. Serena goes to the bedroom. And Serena like looks at him like, for an elder, he really knows how to use a fucking smileys. And talking like a fucking Gen Z. Like, I mean, I'm not the one to talk. Serena knocks on Olivia's door.
There is silence on the other end.
Serena like doesn't want to interfere with Olivia, like, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's gonna quickly text her like an update, and she's gonna be like, "I'm gonna go with Jack just in case, because like, what if it's not the buddy? That's one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it does seem weird how he's texting. But also, you know, it's just like I see that Jack's like a bit uncomfortable. So yeah, and she understands that that person is like pretty powerful, like you know, like the witch in the forest. So you know, So yeah, she's gonna be like, well, I've texted Olivia what's going on. She makes a face when she's looking at the messages. Honestly, pack some weapons because what if it's actually Miguel? This shouldn't have been an unknown number. This should have been a known number to her
Hmm.
because it was a burner phone
She
she
gave
gave.
the number.
Well,
And the
Like
phone.
you technically gave the phone with your number in it. Did you register that phone number on your phone?
she'd know what the numbers are.
We can always
We
it
can
off
we
as
can say that
ADHD.
you got a random number and now you kind of like recall. Oh wait, that's the burner phone. Yeah,
Yeah.
just
She's
because
like,
I got
well, it's
distracted, so
certainly-
now we punish your character,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah, so it's like it certainly is a burner phone, like numbers that I gave the guy. Like, mind you, Serena like basically started getting ready and like is like, I'll go with you just in case. Because what if he lost his phone? I mean, you never know with elders, really.
Yeah.
But it's certainly, if he's learned how to talk in text, he's been learning it from the kids these days.
It's his days. Oh, the humanity.
Yeah, either way, just for context,
Do we take the actually sad one not in a suit with us?
no, we don't.
Okay. Larry,
just-
you're here to protect the house and
Jasper comes out of his room with clicking sounds as he walks down the hall. He seems to be wearing this somewhat old-fashioned but still fancy shoe made of leather and bones, perhaps. Well, where are you two going in such a hurry?
someone wants to meet me.
To meet an ally of
idea
our
who.
allies. I'll fill you in on the road. But yeah, ally of an ally. My witch allies in the forest.
I see.
I mean, they did vouch to support us in our future battles, so let's go. I'll fill you in.
Sure.
And Serena, once they are in a car, she will basically give Jack, like on the way down in the elevator, she'll give him a too long didn't read recap. It's like, so my guess is he's at least 1,000 years old because he didn't know the Tremere were a clan.
But he knew about fucking walkie-talkie. That's like very selective education.
Actually, Serena has never really told Jack, but
Yeah, like
That-
if she told him about that.
well,
Then
I
yeah.
suppose now that you mention it, I guess it was. But maybe that's more relevant on like when he woke up or like where he
guess.
woke up. Because walkie-talkies are still used by the military, I guess, and like security companies.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's just that, and you see that Serena has packed with her like the usual weapons, and she shows Jack the messages that were sent. So, mind you, I'm gonna tell you that I would not be really going out there, but he summoned me there first, okay?
Mm-hmm.
He summoned me, and obviously when he said, "Oh, I can come visit where you are," given Jasper and Olivia, and like, you know, I don't want there to be a fucking murder, you know. But
Yeah.
you see, either he started learning the Gen Z rot, which I'm not surprised with, or It's not who I met that
It's
day.
the other
So,
person then.
yeah, so. But either way, how does he know about you?
No idea.
Hmm. Either way,
I'm
the
not
witch
really
doesn't
that
seem to be
prominent.
allied. Well, the witch doesn't seem to be allied with anyone. Except, like, this guy, and I'm assuming he's also maybe some mage like her, like, uses blood magic. Because he certainly made it easier for me to learn in the beginning.
Mm.
Actually, otherwise everything about him is pretty normal. Like, we went to, like, the Mexican desert, found like, looked for, like, the lady he was looking for. He got some flour from underneath the earth, and then he just, and then we went back. And, yeah,
In one night.
I was like, no, not in one night. It took like maybe an hour or so.
Yeah, like
And
even
you
that, he's
notice that,
quick.
you notice that Iris does not actually consider that strange at all. And
Yeah,
normally,
like we are past the age of being, oh my god, at
no,
every
no,
single
no, no, no,
display
no.
of
Here's
power.
the thing. No, no, here's the thing. That is true, but also, I'd assume that you'd know. I'd assume that Jack know Iris enough that she would be, like making some, like she's actually like, oh no,
Exaggerations.
like, yeah, she'd be making assumptions or like something like
Mm.
that. But she's like, yeah, like we went to like, oh, it's not that he was quick. We just like were there, and then we were like in another place, and then like same way travel back. Like she does not consider it strange at all, which is strange for Iris.
Mm. And he would know if she'd lied, and she didn't.
No, she didn't.
So he's really quick.
I think it was more like we were here and then we were there, like teleportation.
Mm.
Like I would feel like, like if it was very quick,
Mm.
air resistance things. No, it was just like it was. But either way, it's like he just teleported. It's okay.
If you say it's okay, gotta trust the instincts.
As you make your way to the south of Griffith Park, to the spot where Serena first met this person, we will take a short break, and we'll be back in around 15 minutes.
See you around.
See you soon.